our next generations, because our next generations need to feel as closely connected as I do with India. And I think our strength is interdependent on each other. I always say that when an Indian person comes here, please value them as much as any other foreigner. Treat them the same when they enter your customs. Don't feel that you need to differentiate between them and anybody else, because they really do hold up your flag in their own countries. That is my honest plea to everybody here and to whoever I can send this message out to.
It's a very acute stage where the youth is coming up in front. Do you think the role of politician and common man is undergoing a substantial change in our country? How you are feeling? What are the changes?
I think across the world what we've seen is the one thing that the new social media has done is to be able to generate a connectivity with each other very quickly. And recent events, they are incredibly sad events that have happened with the young girl in Delhi. But unfortunately, they're not isolated events. They are events that go on across the globe. And the one thing that we've known, from whether it's the Arab uprising to whether it's the protests that are going on in India today, the young people are at the heart of leading from the front. And I think young people should be congratulated for actually igniting the consciences of countries. It's the same across the world. I think it's crucial. I was a youngster when I got involved in campaigning. I think it's really crucial. The thing now is it's easier because we can do everything so much easier through the internet and online. But the one thing I would say though is don't let go once you've started a campaign. Unfortunately, campaigns last a very, very long time. And they need commitment, because for changes to happen, mindsets need to change, and they take much longer than just a protest march. However important the protest march is, but mindsets need to change, and I think that's the key to how we change society.
My last question. With what objective did you join the politics? And what is the measure of this success? And what message do you want to pass to your children?
I joined politics because I was unhappy, I was dissatisfied with how politicians represented me. I felt that I needed to be a voice amongst many to bring some changes. I think it is so important that women come into politics. They bring a different type of perspective to politics. They look at things differently, and they should.
Can you elaborate?
Well, I mean, when we talk about policies, I mean, we perhaps know we're the biggest consumers. Women are the biggest consumers. So we know what we want to purchase, how we want to purchase it, whether it's through healthcare, whether it's through education. We know what we want for our families. And yet, by and large, across the globe, it's largely decided upon by men who probably have little or less, not little, but less information on how these systems apply and respond to family and children and to homes. So I think women look at, I mean, I know when I'm looking at policies, I want to know what impact it will have on employment, on job life, job-home balance, on whether the pay will be of equal path or equal work. So all of those things are circling around in my head when I'm looking at how policies are derived. And what will be the net impact on society as a whole? I think those are the things that women do, by and large, because we think more laterally, I think bring to the table. It's not to undermine what men bring. I think it just adds value to what is already there. I think good politics is when we each add value and add to our strengths, rather than look at what we lose Because in politics you don't lose anything when somebody brings something extra to the table, you just gain something more.
What's the measure of this success?
That will be counted, I suspect, after I leave politics. I don't know, is the honest answer. I think that will happen where people will say, Sandy Verma came into our lives, she did something that made us change. Maybe that's what the measure will be. I don't know. I just know that I want to see a society where girls shouldn't be embarrassed of being born a girl. I don't want to feel that others should feel embarrassed because they are of dark skin, or that they're from a poor family, or that they're from a lower part of this so-called lower part of society. Because without each other we couldn't interact anyway. I mean, how do you manage if everybody's doing one job and the other jobs aren't fulfilled? How does society function? I would like to see a society where actually, to be quite frank, and this is the great thing about UK. The great thing about UK is it doesn't matter. I sit with my Secretary of State and we have coffees and drinks and chat on an equal par. I think that sort of hierarchy of self-importance needs to disappear. We're public servants. We come to serve the public. That's our job. And we get paid very well for it. So I think we need to make sure that when we leave this job, we've left it a more equal place for somebody else. That's my hope.
What is the message you want to pass to Indian women?
Come into politics, please.
This was my last question. Message for Indian women.
The message for Indian women is, look at my fabulous co-partner here and see what she's managed to achieve. Coming from being a medic to coming into politics. Actually, you and I had a switch turned on in our heads to say, very true, that destiny has taken me down a different path. I'm going to throw, you see, I'm going to be mean. I'm going to have the last word here. What message have you got for women?
Be an expert. When I wrote